gamers, and welcome to episode 363 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for February 20th, 2022. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Nixon, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
It's been crazy. The weather's been crazy, man. Like it was warm. I was like, man, it's warm early in the week, and then it just got back to being just cold.
We had snow.
Yeah.
Then it was 60.
Yeah, it was, it actually started out cold, and then it went warm, and then it went cold again. And it was like, the weather just doesn't know what the fuck is going on, man. It's like, man, I don't know.
It didn't see that groundhog shadow, wasn't sure.
Yeah, but you say it's be 3 groundhogs, man. That's just cheating. It's supposed to be just one. You just mess it all up. It's like,
Mother Nature was looking at the first one like, okay, this is fine. And then looked at the second one like, oh, shit, I got the cold back in.
All right, so what else happened? Oh, yeah, I was going to get right into it. Super Bowl happened. Rams are the champions.
Yeah.
As I think they believed they were favorites, of course. Also, what happened? You got the halftime show was pretty good. People liked. Definitely for us. I mean, this is basically the millennials and Gen Xers, young Gen Xers, basically. Maybe some old ones too. I mean, shucks. I mean, they probably just like the music. But like, yeah, the old ones probably, they know Dr. Dre and stuff, and they probably heard Eminem later on in their lives. And while us, this is basically Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg is like the old guys. It's just funny. They were somewhat old even when I was listening to Eminem. And now it's like 30 years.
Yep.
Like Eminem was like 20 years, 20 plus years.
That's what I was telling you. Yeah, like it's ridiculous.
30 plus years. I mean,
and even Kendrick at this point is like 10 years.
Yeah, he's like 10 years. Like all these guys are pretty old. Like I remember when Snoop Dogg came in the album when I was in high school. That was 2012, 13.
Yeah.
That's it, 13. My fault. 2003, 2002.
Right.
And I was like, darn, man, why Snoop Dogg coming to the album? He's old. And then it wasn't that good either. I mean, it wasn't good at all.
It wasn't the Snoop Lion album, was it? Was that later?
Oh no, I think that's after.
Okay, yeah, I think
that's actually after this one.
I think that was like Target when that one came out.
I was like, oh man, this is not that good, and I mean, it's not really good. And seeing him up there, during Crypt outfit and shit, because he can't wear the bandana, he can wear a whole suit. Yes. And doing like Crip walk. I mean, I was like, come on, man, you're a granddad, yo. You can chill with that. Just sing your song. You don't have to be like, I'm still gangster. It's like, no,
it's a performance, Dominic.
Anyway, what else happened? Anything else happened around the Super Bowl that was big? Nothing. I know a celebration that was something crazy happened. It's unfortunate. Like a woman fell off a stage and got a spinal fracture.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But another bad thing, I mean, that's the worst part, but it's just it happened in front of Matthew Stafford and his wife. And while they were on stage, and I forgot what she was doing with them, but she just fell backwards. And I don't know, I guess she didn't realize how close she was to the edge of the stage. Yeah. But the way Matthew Stafford reacted was just like pretty bad. Look, it looks bad because he kind of just says, "Oh my God," and just turns away and just drank his water bottle. Like he just walks away.
It's so awkward. It's so weird.
While his wife is there, like what most people would do.
Yeah, like she runs to the edge and looking down. It's like, oh my God.
Like what happened? Like he just said, "Oh my God," and just walked away. I was like, he wanted to get away from the scene.
Yeah, it was like, somebody might catch on that I pushed her.
Yes. Well, yeah. It's not. No, it was nothing that they did that caused this, but it's just. It became awkward, and I think they did some damage control because they offered to pay for the ladies, or they did pay for her medical bills. But I saw that story first about the medical bills paid, so I didn't know what the situation was. I was just saying like, oh, damn, somebody got hurt, and then I saw the video, and I said, oh, this is why they probably almost like they offered because of this. People were reacting to the situation of what Matthew Stafford did. That's like, darn, that sucks. So I know people are making excuses, like, hey, he was probably too drunk or something. But I don't know. I mean, even drunk, I mean, just the reaction is still weird. You know, I mean, I don't know. It's just a weird reaction to be even if you're drunk. I mean, I feel like you'd still be a drunk or stupid saying like, "Oh God, what happened to you?"
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
That's when you jump down behind her and try and save her.
Yeah, exactly. You say, "Oh, he was drunk because he tried to go save her." That's why he tried to go save her. Anyway, what else have sports? Oh well, it's All-Star Weekend as I'm talking. So by the time you hear this podcast, All-Star Weekend has been over. I have no idea who won any of the contests. I haven't pictured any All-Star game because nobody was in the any other challenges or competitions, whatever, that I cared about. Like 3-point contest, nobody I cared about was in there. Nobody cared about the skills challenge. I don't care about celebrity. I actually saw a little bit of celebrity basketball because I just turned it real quick. Who was Haddish was there? Okay. Tiffany Haddish. Trying to think of the famous people. I saw some basketball. They usually have older players to play. I saw a couple of them. Don't ask me their names. I just know their faces. And because they weren't that great. That's what I was going to say. So I didn't really know them then. I'm trying to think of another famous person. I think one of the Migos were there. Don't ask me which one because I never knew their names. And
we'll say if they got on camera if it was Offset.
There was a slinky white dude with a lot of tattoos. I kept thinking it was Justin Bieber for some reason.
MGK. It's got to be MGK.
I don't know. It just looked like it said Nick on the back of his jersey. I don't know what that
was. Nick Carter. I don't know.
That's what it is?
I don't know.
I don't know who's it's a very skinny dude. He has a lot of tattoos, a white dude.
Yeah.
He looks youngish.
I'm thinking it's got to be MGK.
Okay, who's MGK?
He was a rapper, and then he got in beef with Eminem, and now he's doing a lot more like punk rocky stuff. He's actually engaged to Megan Fox now, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or at least they were dating at some point. He's got short, kind of like platinum blonde hair right now.
Okay, I think then it's probably him then.
Well, maybe not short, but short for long hair.
But yeah, that's all I really saw of that. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really watch anything. Nothing else really going on in sports. That guy who was suing the NFL. I don't know if he's still suing them because he got a job now.
Oh, really?
With the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a coordinator or something. But I didn't really. I just heard my dad had told me yesterday. I didn't look at the specifics of what his job was, but I was wondering, like, can you still sue the league if you working
right.
still working for? Now I can see if you sue a specific team, then maybe you can still work for another team and still sue them. But you're suing the league, so I don't know. I don't know how that works.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's all I got. So what you got for wrestling?
All right, Dominic. Wrestling, I wanted to bring this up because it seems so pervasive that, like, even you texted me about it. Like, what is going on with this? But Cody Rhodes announced this week that he is no longer going to be with AEW. They did not. He had been working on a handshake deal. Basically, his contract had expired, and everybody was just like, oh, that's just because he hasn't been at the tapings or whatever to sign a new contract. It's fine. Everything's okay. And then this week, like him and Brandy, both of them, I guess, are leaving the company. Brandy being his wife. And she was like chief brand officer, I think, for AEW. And Cody was, of course, a executive vice president along with like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega because he was there at the start of the company, basically. It sounds like now from all the reports that are coming out and interviews with some other people, I don't think Cody has officially given a reason as to why he is left, but it sounds like basically he thought of himself as a or maybe the top guy there. And then when guys like CM Punk came in and Bryan Danielson with contracts that potentially may have been at a higher rate than he was like, hey man, if I'm not getting paid like a top star, maybe I'm not a top star. So I guess he was asking for more money in this latest contract and maybe more creative control as well. And neither of those things, it appears Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, was willing to give up. So he is on his way now. There are a lot of rumors saying that he is either signing with or potentially even signed with, or there have just been talks with WWE to bring him back in. Obviously, from their standpoint, depending on what they're giving up to him, whether it be money. I mean, obviously they're not hurting for money. They've been doing record numbers, and releasing 90% of their roster has only helped them in that case. But creatively, I just don't see him going to WWE and getting the control that he wanted out of AEW that he wasn't already getting. That's a product that's very, curated by Vince McMahon personally, and I don't think a lot of people really get the option to go their own route in the same way that Cody was, even in AEW, that he was unhappy with. But obviously for WWE, it would be kind of a big get, even though Cody wasn't ever the top of the card when he was there in WWE. Obviously, he's built a little bigger of a persona now. And just the fact that you're getting one of the guys that started the company that is now competing with you, a former executive vice president from AEW, I think it is kind of a feather in the cap for them, to say the least. To me, it's interesting. I think his latest thing was that he put out an Instagram post of like a picture of his daughter and his dog playing together, and just said like, "This is what retirement looks like," or something like that. And if that's the direction he goes and he's just like done with wrestling, good on him. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was a while after his WWE career where he said like, I'm going to keep wrestling until the age of whatever it is. And then, my aspirations are maybe going to be elsewhere. He was also doing the Go Big show on TNT, as well as Roads to the Top, which was basically like him and Brandy of a reality type show. I don't know if he's going to be doing that anymore, since he's no longer with the brand that's affiliated with that. I could see him maybe still being on the Go Big show. I'm not sure. Or maybe they just replace him with the Big Show. I mean, that was always the logical step anyway. But he's been in Arrow before. He's done some acting. I could see him maybe going down that route. But it's just kind of weird that one of the top guys from that company, one of the guys that was kind of integral in creating AEW, is leaving it for one reason or another. And I think that's why it became such big news, especially because Cody, in a lot of ways, even though he wasn't necessarily at the top of the card, even these past couple of years, ever since he had that match with Chris Jericho and basically promised that he would never compete for the world championship again, he was always kind of the face of the company and one of the guys near the top. And it's kind of an interesting revelation there, Dominic. So there's that. I also didn't mention last week, but Keith Lee, who is one of the big names that got released from WWE, did debut in AEW last week. So that's exciting. There's still more people everyone is expecting to see join AEW soon. And with not having to pay Cody's contract, they might have a whole bunch of money freed up to bring in even more people. Who knows? But yeah, that's kind of where wrestling is.
All right. So I guess we get into what we've been watching. I guess I'll start. I ain't gonna really talk about it, but Ready Player One I did watch, and we talked about this years ago when we saw it together. I just watched it in the Oculus, so this is the first 3D movie I watched like fully in the Oculus, and yeah, man, it was a good experience. Like, it's
very cool.
It really feels like you're watching like the 3D movie from the theaters. So, and you can make it any aspect ratio. I mean, it all depends on what type of program you're using. Mm-hmm. I was using Skybox for it, where you can change how big the screen is, or like the background you want. Like in Skybox, they have it where you can be on the moon, or in a space station, or in the movie theater, and void. Now, but the movie theater, I was hoping that it'll be different types of movie theaters. Like, I think another one, I think it's big screen, that has multiple views of a movie theater in there, so you can pick from different ones of those.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember, Prime Video has it where you can at least change it's the same theater, but if you could change the size of the screen, while Netflix, it only has one view, like I told you before, the log cabin.
Right. But
you can change it to nothingness. That's where you can change the screen size and everything. But yeah, that was cool to watch that movie. And plus that movie's really, like, the visuals of that movie really, like, made for like a good 3D experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was just buying it because I haven't seen that movie since we saw it. So,
yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I remember that. I did like this movie. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
also, I did finally watch the Boba Fett, the last episode,
mm-hmm.
and that was good. Yeah, that was a good episode. It left a lot of open endings to it.
Definitely.
I didn't realize who was in the vac. I had to look it up because I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And I realized. I said, "Oh, it's the Marshal." Okay, that's good. And so good. He's still alive. And also, it looked like Cad Bane might be alive because his freaking heart monitor, I don't know what the fuck it is beeping.
Yeah.
Or I could have been just his life alert. I mean, that could have been. so who knows? He could be dead. It could his life alert just beeping like beep beep beep. Somebody's gonna come pick him up and say, "Oh man, he's dead." But yeah, it left things open. Even though I didn't really pay attention to it when Boba Fett was talking with his partner about, like, he was saying, like, we're not made for this life.
Mm-hmm.
So is he gonna leave?
Yeah, I wonder what happens there. I mean, I wonder if they do a Book of Boba Fett season 2, or if they kind of tell whatever bit of that story they're going to in maybe somebody else's show. If they even go as far as, like, doing like a Cobb Vanth show, you know, the guy in the tube, the Marshal, if they were to do something like that, or, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, because I was very confused by that. But it left things open to, we can see more of this universe, what's going to happen with these characters. So I enjoyed it. It was a good ending. It was a nice little battle they had there. Too bad for those pigs dying at the end.
They just got, like, out of everybody else kind of got saved, but they just got thrown off the side of a cliff. Or they jumped, I guess.
Darn.
Yeah, those are rough. Hopefully they picked
else?
up their bodies and spit roasted them.
Yeah, so the whole Grogu thing with him choosing to stay with the Mandalorian, I mean, that's good. I mean, that's cool because that's what I think most of the audience wants.
Yeah.
But it's just that why... I never understood the Jedi thing. The Jedi thing is always, like, iffy with me because, like, you had to choose one. Like, it's like I can't just train and then and still go with him eventually after finish training or whatever. I mean,
you can't have any emotional connections, Dominic.
Yeah, but see, and that's what don't make sense because, and this emotional connections or emotions sometimes, but we seen that there's emotional connections all throughout the Jedi. I mean,
absolutely.
All throughout the
even
Clone
between
Wars,
like Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah, like you have emotional connection with your own Jedi partners. So what the hell? What does that even mean? And it's like, I just think like that whole monk. I think George Lucas. I mean, if that was his story thing with the Jedi, I think that went too far with the whole monk thing. I think the whole monk thing is a little too much to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like yes, there should be some type of I forgot what I was looking for. Like some type where you have like some type of control over like your emotions, but not to the extent of just almost like just repressing them. Mm-hmm. Like that's what it seems like. It's not, you're not really getting rid of them. You're just repressing them. And yeah, I can understand like certain aliens probably be easier to do that. Like Yoda or something. Like he might don't love anybody because nobody gonna love his ass, like his old ass. So it's easy for him to do that. But it's not a Yeah, I never really liked it. I never liked that philosophy of that they have. What? There's anything else to talk about with that movie being the show? I think that's it. So I guess we can talk about Peacemaker because I saw the last episode. And how did you like it? I liked it.
I did too. I was a little concerned that they were gonna just basically, get rid of everybody. It seems like, but
it did seem that way, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, this Dash should do a suicide like a squad thing here. Everybody's gonna die. Because I was thinking like, okay, what's a vigilante? I saw him get shot or something. I was like, okay, he's dead. Then the way Hardcore got shot, I'm thinking like, she's definitely dead. She covered fucking blood and shit. She should be dead, probably. And then when I saw the butterfly about to go in her, even then, like the girl stopped her. I was like, okay, she's just about to die though. Yeah. She's about to die right here.
Exactly, but like die with dignity is what they wanted for her. Exactly. Right? Yeah.
And I was surprised she's still alive. I was like, wow, they really kept her alive. But she is fucking the director, so what the hell? I mean, I guess, yeah. She's gonna be alive.
Oh, is that his wife?
His girlfriend.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I looked it up because I was looking up to see what has she's been in anything else. And the first thing I see was a whole bunch of pictures with him and her. Okay. And then I was like, is this just for the show? Like, like a red carpet thing? And then I saw like, oh no, they're dating. I said, oh, okay. Say, oh man, that means when they break up, she gonna leave the show or something because just like that's what happened on Orville or something like that. Like that one girl, he was dating one of the girls. Now I don't think she left the show because of that reason, but it is a coincidence. I mean, I find it's a real coincidence though that they stopped dating and then she had an episode where she left, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
that's it.
Nobody wants to work with their ex, Dominic. It's understandable.
Yeah. I just wish they didn't happen then.
Exactly.
Or just wait till after this. Wait to break up after the series is over or gets canceled. All right, so
yeah, because they did announce a season 2 of that already now.
Oh, what? Yeah. They announced that the Peacemaker. Yeah. So what else? The show it was cool. Yeah, and excuse me, I was wondering what they're going to do with that ending with. When the butterfly was saying how they were here to help humanity, basically, but they were helping them by forcing them to go a certain route, and so it's like, yeah, you should get the choice to do it or something like that. So so you should kill him. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you should kill him.
But then that butterfly comes back, Dominic.
Now, but what it's going to die eventually because I have no food source.
Right. Yeah. Also, like, I don't even know now that I'm thinking about it. Like, he sees his father too, so maybe like he is imagining both of those. Both of those is like pivotal things in his life. I don't know.
Yeah, So the father's looked like he was going to just be in his head. Like it seemed like that's going to probably be a thing, most likely, and that's fine. Because I mean that's the character's a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like the show, and I like that. I wish there was some more shows similar to this, not so much the comedy, but at least adult. Because like I had that with like the Marvel shows on Netflix, like they were basically adult versions of what Marvel does for the cinematics,
right?
And now Disney Plus, because now it just seems like all Marvel shows are the same. And which I mean, they're not bad shows. It's just that I don't get that difference. It's like everything's a comedy,
right?
All of them are comedy. I don't know. They don't know what show wasn't a comedy. I don't think there is anyone.
No.
So it's like I kind of want something that's kind of a little more serious. I mean, I'm not saying you gotta be like freaking no comedy, but this. I mean, I don't know, like just like how Arrow was on freaking CW. I mean, like. He was a serious guy and everything. You have your moments, but like Disney Marvel shows are made to be, those comic moments are embedded into the show.
Yeah,
in a way. I was kind of hoping like I can get a show that's kind of, it don't have to be in it. I mean, I don't even have to be adult, but it seems like it seems like it's got to be to that extreme. It's got to either be adult with a lot of cursing and stuff, or to the extreme of being very comical and funny and family friendly.
Right.
It can't be just that middle ground of just PG-13 like we used to have. Yeah. I guess Zack Snyder was trying to do that, but I guess he did it in a way that people didn't like. All right. So what else? Oh yeah, anything else you want to say about Peacemaker?
No, I enjoyed that finale. I think overall I came around on the show a little more. Like at the beginning, I thought it was okay, but it wasn't great. But I think it stepped up kind of throughout the season. And by the end of it, yeah, I was all on board with kind of everybody.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed all the characters. I'm glad they all lived. I'm glad Vigilante didn't go the route that I was talking about. He went. Yeah. He might have went to like he was going to not really trade with them, but he was going to go crazy because he doesn't like that he's friends with them or something like that. Which I guess is still potential because he did say that Abadiah is his second, after Eagly, is his best friend. Yeah, second best friend. And I was like, oh. I hope V don't never hear that because I like V.
Yeah, but then doesn't he say like she's his third or some fourth best friend? Fifth? Oh, okay.
Fifth. I don't know so I'm thinking like, what's the other three?
I'm thinking like Hardcore and what's his face?
Well, I guess it'd be two because he said Eagly. So other two, I guess, yeah.
I guess it's just everybody else on the team. She's just his least favorite one because
she should say that's racist. That's the only black one. All right. So, what else did you watch?
I also watched the new Cuphead series that is on Netflix. It just came out this week. It definitely does well with the aesthetic of Cuphead. It very much looks like that game. But as far as like any substance, there's not really much to it. Each of the episodes is pretty short. It's like, I don't know, I want to say like 10 minutes because I was telling you, it's like 14 minutes in the timer, but a lot of that is credits, and then there's also the intro at the beginning. The intro song is fun. I like that. And then the first episode is where they actually have like Satan, who in the game kind of is the main antagonist because you sell your soul to him at the beginning of the game and you're trying to collect other souls basically to save your own. And he has like a song and dance, well, not maybe dance number so much, but like a song number. And it's cool. It definitely has the aesthetic and kind of feeling of one of those old cartoons. But then like even second episode on, they just kind of move into this like, oh, we just have these characters and we're just going to put them in silly circumstances. Like, oh, there's a baby on our doorstep and now the baby's causing us trouble. So Mugman and Cuphead have to deal with that. And it's just like, yeah, it definitely harkens back to those days of those cartoons. And I'm sure a lot of those cartoons also didn't have much substance to them. But it doesn't necessarily seem like it's a kid's thing. And at least you could make that excuse for those cartoons back in the day, even though now you look at them and like everybody's smoking and doing whatever. So it's not really a kid's product, but that's kind of where it is. It's like, it feels like this is more a thing that should be geared for more adults, I guess. Cause that game's not like a kid's game, even though it's not necessarily.
Yeah. Cause my friend had bought it for his, soon to be stepdaughter. And that game is hard as shit. Like she can't get past like the first level. Like he can barely get past. I don't think he got past the first stage he tried.
Yeah, so it's just like it sits in this weird place. So there have been like 2 episodes so far out of the like I think 6 that I've watched. I think there are 12 total that are like, oh, okay, these are actually like there's something to them. But that was like the first one and like the 4th or 5th one, I think. Maybe the 6th one. I can't remember. But for the most part, they just don't really stick with me too much. It's like one episode Cuphead breaks Mugman's handle or whatever, so they're like going around trying to get glue to glue them back together. It's very simplistic. It's cute in the same way that Cuphead was cute, but in a lot of ways it doesn't feel like this was made for any reason other than, hey, we made this game based on those kind of cartoons, and now that game has a cartoon like that of its own. And it's like, okay, that's kind of neat, but there's really just not much more to it than that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know what? And I mean, like you say, the show is fine. It looks fine from the preview I saw.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that now we're getting a whole lot of game properties in different forms, like movies and TV shows. Well, that's only 2 forms. But, well, they've already been in book forms, too. But anyway, it's just that I'm not excited. Every time I hear the news, I'm never excited for it because I'm like, there have been good ones recently. We had more good ones recently than ever before.
Yeah.
But they never turn out like the way I wanted. Like, Sonic the Hedgehog is fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The Pikachu Detective, because that was different. That's not like your regular Pokemon show. So it was fine too. It was a fine movie. Then you have these TV shows like Arcane, which the game didn't really have a story, but they made a good story out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Castlevania turned out to be pretty good. I did like that. Well, so far I like it. I haven't watched the 4th season yet. But then like I see like the movies like Uncharted, which I heard is not that great. And then you got the Halo show coming. We'll see how that goes. The last Halo media stuff haven't been that good, except for that cartoon somewhat one that didn't really have a lot of animation to it. That was actually pretty good, but it wasn't. Right. It wasn't really like something like I show off to people. I guess Sonic the cartoon, the Sonic Boom, I guess is that's actually turned out to be pretty funny. You know what I mean? It's a good kid show. It's not something like I would say like family. I say it's mostly for kids. You can watch it, but it's not. Yeah, I wouldn't say like tell adults to go watch it. It's like I don't really. It's like I might hear like, oh, a Gears movie coming or this movie. I'm not excited. I'm like, it's still. Y'all gonna probably suck. I feel like if it's too big, if it's like one of those big budget games that happen, y'all still probably gonna suck. It's like because I'm just like I have a feeling that Halo's gonna suck. I think if they do, I heard Netflix is doing a BioShock series, and I'm like that's gonna probably suck too. That's gonna probably really suck because I don't think y'all gonna do that justice to what the game is.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. Like, I hope, like, even if you recreate what the game was, it's going to suck for me because I already know what everything means. But you can still make it look good. You can still make it look good and everything, and I like it. But I don't think you will. I don't think you put a budget in there to make it as the best it is. The only thing I can hope is if it's animated, honestly, because I'm like, I feel like you do it real. If you make it real, I'm like, you ain't going to put that budget and make it that real. But you're talking about Titanic levels type of budget with all that water and like interior, that design. You're talking people putting some work in, which means either you're going to go the crappy computer model work where it's like, oh, I can tell this is fake.
Yeah.
And you're not going to go in the route of like making things look realistic, like recreating sets, like freaking sets that be in warehouses and shit that I see in movies to make it look real. I was like, I saw some witches. I wish they don't. It's like, why do it? It's like, why? Just do something. Just do another show. Why have to take this property, like name and do this? It's like, just do something original. It's like everything doesn't have to be made to a movie, just like everything has to be made to a game.
Yeah.
It's like whatever.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you when I originally saw that news, and I had that in the news section, but we can just talk about it here. I was like, oh yeah, that like BioShock is cool. Like the aesthetic of BioShock is cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that But like the more I thought about it, yeah, we're talking about Netflix, we're talking about live action stuff. Like they're pretty not even hit or miss, especially on the live action adaptation stuff. But yeah, like if they just took that and made that an animated thing in the same way that like in Arcane, I could see that being a really cool thing, even though it doesn't have what Arcane had was basically we knew nothing about it, and they came up with this story. And yeah, like you said, that's kind of what the problem with BioShock is we already know the story. Like we thought the story was cool. Are they going to do their own version of that story? Because, there's always a man, there's always a woman, there's always a lighthouse kind of thing. Or are we just going to get one of those properties adapted straight up? And it seems like maybe that's the direction they're going, because they're already teasing the like, would you kindly and the Andrew Ryan kind of stuff. So I really hope at the very least we do get an animated thing instead of a live action thing. But at the same time, it's kind of nice knowing that Netflix is working on this, because at the end of the day, like Netflix, even if they turn out bad, usually fulfills their promises to make shows. Whereas, there's been talks of a BioShock movie since the dude who directed the Pirates of the Caribbean movies was supposed to do it. So
in the Halo, just like the Halo finally getting a show, it was like a movie talked about like Steven Spielberg and shit for fucking years.
So there's part of me that's like, at least we can maybe get some closure with this, and even if it comes out and is not good, at least it came out.
It happened.
Yeah, now we can move on, and maybe.
But
people
now
won't
I guess I'm waiting for the Gears now, like because they keep talking about. I mean, every now and then you see Gears pop up, or something, which I'm just like, come on, man, you kind of missed the. I almost feel like you missed the boat, but I guess it's really not missing the boat. I mean, because if you're good, you can bring it back. You know, if you're good. But it's just like with Gears, I don't want a realistic. Like I really want that to be animated. Like that can work to me like an Arcane, definitely. But because if you're gonna make it real, it's not gonna feel like Gears, because you're not gonna find a bunch of big guys.
It's gonna be The Rock, Batista, John Cena. And
Batista, he's gonna have to wear a whole suit because he ain't gonna be working out like he used to. That's why he's not doing
Batista's been out there saying, and we even got that, right? We got Batista replaces Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War 5 or whatever, right? So that's the thing, is he's been out there talking about wanting to do that. But yeah, he doesn't need to do the thing. He can just be the voice, right? Like if we were to get a proper cool animated type thing and just make it really stylized. Like you don't even have to make it just look like Gears of War, because at the end of the day that's kind of like, oh yeah, sort of realistic but not quite there, uncanny valley type stuff. Just give us like a really cool stylized thing like Arcane. I think we're going to be coming back to Arcane as like the benchmark for video game turned whatever, like for a while, and until they're able to one up that, if they are.
And really, with Naughty Dog thing, like, well, they got The Last of Us coming out, and for me, I don't even want that, because I feel because Naughty Dog, because those games are like movies anyway. It's like what, like they're literally linear games. These are the most linear games, and they're great, but it's like, why do I need another media of this? What would that really do for me? I mean, it's only good for people who don't know anything about the game, really, because me just seeing this in real life, that's all I'm gonna do is keep comparing to the game.
Right.
And then it's like, come on, man, we had like 20 seasons of Walking Dead. I mean, I don't really care. No offense, I don't really care about those zombies. I mean, officially not zombies, but they're zombies. I mean, let's kid ourselves. It's like, because it's the same fucking story. The worst things in that world is not the zombies, it's the humans, which is what almost all the good zombie movies are anyway. So, yeah, this is going to be a series. It's like, I don't get nothing from this. Like, I don't know, I don't see what's the big deal of this. If they was telling like another story, if they was telling like, oh, same universe, different area, or this is between the time of the first game and the second game,
Mm-hmm.
then it'll be something. It's like, okay, this really adds something here. If it's just a recreation of the first game, it's like, I mean, I don't know what you do. I was like,
here we are again.
Yeah,
We've seen it so far.
I'm just seeing it in another. Now I'm seeing with real people acting, and I know it can't be better. I doubt it's going to be better than the game. I mean, if it somehow does, I mean, good on them. But I have my doubts. All right, so I guess we finally get to what we were playing. So you go first.
Okay. I've just been playing some more Luigi's Mansion. I haven't gotten back to Chicory this week, mainly just because I was playing stuff on my Switch, Luigi's Mansion. Mostly just still trying to get through that game. I came back to it after having set it down before starting Chicory because I got to this point where I was just like, I don't know how to proceed, and I'm trying to puzzle solve it out and try and figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do here, but I just can't figure it out. Like I'm trying to get into this castle level and I'm trying to pull on this thing with my vacuum and I just can't do it. And eventually I'm like, okay, fuck this. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm going to figure it out. And I look it up and it's immediately the easiest fucking thing that had I continued playing it, more consistently, I would have very easily figured out because you have your Guigi guy that comes out of your backpack and is like a gelatin version of Luigi.
Okay.
And he can slip through bars. And like, that's all I had to fucking do was just bring him out and slip him through the bars instead of trying to use him to do other stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm stupid as hell. So I'm now progressing again, finally, but I need to like spend more time just going straight through that game. Cause otherwise I'm going to continually just be stupid and fuck this up, I guess. Nothing really different than any of the previous times I talked about it. Controls still giving me a little bit of difficulty, but mostly fine. I really wish like the treasure stuff came to you more like a Ratchet and Clank game instead of having to vacuum that stuff up, because it feels like even when I walk over it, I'm not necessarily picking it up, and it becomes frustrating. But for the most part, the ghost fights are still fun. I do like that stuff. And I think some of the bosses are pretty creative. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that game. So,
all right.
What have you been playing, Dominic?
So I've been playing some more Halo. I don't know how far I am in the story. It feels like I'm really getting close to the ending part, which is kind of sad because I still got a lot of stuff to collect and I didn't collect. So I'm curious. I'm curious where I'm at in this game. I mean, I think it feels like I'm getting close to the end.
Mm-hmm.
What else have I played? I played some more Scarlet Nexus. I'm still playing as the girl, and I am definitely closer to the end now because I finally got to the point where I did beat up with the boys group and we're working together now. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm at the part where everything's going to be really the same, like because just what I played before. I also tried out King of Fighters 15. It just came out this week, and yeah, it's not my type of game. It's kind of similar to what Street Fighter is, where I mean, it's not enough meat there for me to stick with it. And the story mode is weird because the story I play just dealt with. I don't know how it works, honestly. Maybe it goes by the first character you pick. Is that their story? Or is it a story that is just part of the game and you just play with any character doing the fights? I don't know. I'm about to try it again. Because it did seem like it dealt with the girl who I was starting as, but it's 3 versus 3. But it's not 3 versus 3 as in like you can switch them out. If your player dies, then your other player comes in. Like, so you can't just keep switching out. And you have to win 3 rounds though. You have to win 3 rounds. That's how it plays. I never played King of Fighters before. I never played the series, so I can't compare it to any of the other games. This one just have a nice little look to it. So that's why I wanted to try it out. And I mean, it's a fighting game, but it doesn't have enough meat on it for me, like like the NetherRealm games, I should say. And it doesn't have that look. I mean, even though it looks all right. I mean, even though like Street Fighter V looks good, but I doesn't have the look of anime like the Dragon Ball Z or Blaze Blue that will really keep me going. Because just like, oh man, I love the visuals. Yeah, it's not like that, but I know there are fans for it because it's going to be at the tournaments and shit like that. But yeah, it's not the kind of fighting game I like. All right, so what else have I played? I actually played this a few weeks ago when it did come out. I just forgot to talk about it because I did record a little bit of a video of it. Last Kids of Earth. It is an isometric action game where you play as these kids, and it seems like it's almost like based off a cartoon or something, but I don't think it is. Because like they got all these characters and they got like good monsters that help you, and it's definitely a kids game. Like this is something for kids because I playing it. It's like a simple, like Diablo-like game, but very very simplistic, very kid friendly. Like I really couldn't find no interest in there for me, but I can see like some elementary school kids or something like that like really have fun with this game. So yeah, if you got any kids or something who likes games, I think they'll love this type of game. And they have to know how to read. I think they have voice. I think it's some voice acting. I don't know if it's all voice acting though. I think you did. Yeah, I think I had to read. Yeah, I had to read something. So yeah, they have to have at least a third grade reading level, and then you're good with the game. All right, so. What else I played? Oh, No Man's Sky. Because I said I want to try that again. I said, you know what? I'm going to load it up. So I downloaded on a PC through the Xbox. And yeah, the game is just so different from what I played the first time. For some reason, I thought this game was first person. I don't remember it being third person.
Was there a way to switch, maybe?
Maybe. But I definitely don't remember my character looking this colorful either. So I think he looked more plain looking when I had him. So that was different. But it started me out on a planet where it was like, what was it? Like some type of gas. So I had to keep like building up my shield. But I had cheats and shit. So I was like, fuck it. I ain't doing that. So I just kept it so that it never go down. But I didn't really get to any story elements yet. I mean, I think it's just some to this game, but I haven't got to like anything base building. I'm still at the early parts of them really teaching me how to play and stuff like that, like things to collect, and that's taking too long because I'm getting bored. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm about to not stop playing this fucking game. But you know, I do want to try the Series X version because it's been optimized for it, so I might just put the cheats in where I just get a whole bunch of materials and just transfer it over to play with that one. So it'll be a whole lot easier for me in that game. I just have a lot of material. So I might just do that because the load times are horrible. Well, there's only one loading, and that's the beginning. Trying to load up, I guess, the galaxy or wherever worlds you at and you close to. Because that just takes too fucking long for me on my PC. And I was like, man, I don't want to fucking wait for this game. At first I thought it was like it crashed on me or something. I was like, oh, it was still loading. And then I finally got to the planet, man, but it took a while. So I don't want to go through that again. So yeah, I do want to play the Series X version. But yeah, the game, it definitely looks better than I remember it. And I haven't done like I said, I'm still at the beginning part, so I haven't done all the features that it has, like the base building. So I do want to try that out. But yeah, I mean, it's No Man's Sky. It's a survival game. It's like I'm not really big on survival games, really, but unless they gotta have something there to appeal to me, like Subnautica, the exploration was what appealed to me. And like this game, the exploration of the planets and things of that nature, it has that appeal to me. That's why I'm okay with the survival elements. But like a game like Rust or even Ark Evolve, I think it's too complicated. Like if Ark Evolve was more simplistic, I would probably stay with that game. I never get that far in that game. Every time I say I'm gonna start that game, I never get to a point where I am riding a dinosaur. That I think that's probably a long way off from where I'm at. I haven't got any clothes or anything. I haven't even like gotten food yet in that game because it's just too much. I'm like, yo, dude, I just want to just get on a dinosaur, ride it around. Like, is there some type of story? And I don't even know. Is there a story to Ark Evolve? Is it like a campaign you can do?
I don't know, but I don't think so.
Oh, well then, if it's just a sandbox, then you know what? That's probably not the game for me.
Yeah.
Because at least with Subnautica, there is a sort of story. Now, the second one is more of a story, but the first one, when you're discovering things, you start learning of what this world is, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping that maybe No Man's Sky would have something like that now with all its updates to play with. All right, so that's okay with the normal games. Then I played some Oculus Quest 2.
Oh, yeah.
So I played a little bit of the Walking Dead game, and I got too scared, so I stopped playing. I got past the tutorial part when they teach you how to use your, all the controls and everything and kill the zombies.
Mm-hmm.
But man, when it gets to the part where you're in the bayou in the boat, man, and then some zombies jump on the boat, I was like, oh god, this is too much. Because I was like, God, this ain't just like a shooter. I thought it was just gonna be like we walked around just shooting zombies, like Robo Recall or something. And I was like, man, you gotta put bandages on you and things of that nature. Well, put it like this, I didn't get that far and I put a bandage on. I think I got to a point where you'll even see in a video I had where I was just stabbing the head of this guy. He was already dead. But because I'm turning around because I'm scared it's going to jump up or something. And then I crawled through this space in this dark hallway. Then that's why I stopped playing. I said, fuck it. I'm not playing no more. I'll come back to this. I said, darn, man, this is not what I thought it was. It's like, this is a survival horror. And like, I'll probably be better off playing the Resident Evil game. That's probably less scary, at least than this game, man. The way they move this game is in. Because this really deals with sneaking around too. So they said like stealth is good. Now there are cheats, but that's only if you have the PC version of it. So I was like, darn, because I mean, still would be scary, but at least I can scream and just shoot my gun a billion times and not worry about wasting bullets. Something like that. All right. So I also played this game called, I forgot what it's called. I don't know, it's called Space Pirate Simulator or Space Pirate something.
Trainer,
yeah. It's a shooter. It's like you're on this spaceship platform and look like you're in the city and these freaking bots kind of just fly around. You got to shoot them, basically. Now, I guess it's like a first-person Galaga or something. Not Galaga, but well, yeah, Galaga, I guess. I don't know. But just like you're not in a ship.
Galaga type thing.
Yeah. Just like you're not in a ship. You're just a person and you're just shooting around. But thing is, I didn't even realize it because they do have a tutorial, but I thought it was going to be like something they tell you as you play. But if you had turned around during the menu, it shows you how to play because I didn't know you could pull up a shield. I was just using two guns and shooting and dodging the lasers. But then you got another weapon where if you pull from your back, you can hold up a shield to block the lasers, or you can change it to be a weapon. Like it's like a almost a wand like thing where it can a tether. You can tether the ships and throw them down or throw them at other ships. And yeah, I was like, okay, this is cool. I played that just a little bit of it though, because I was about to watch a movie, so I was like, I just want to try this game out because I had it up here. Let me see how it is. And yeah, it was fun. It's a nice little game.
Yeah, that's one of the early ones that I think people praised a lot when VR was just becoming a thing.
Okay, what else did I play? I played some Sam and Max. That was pretty cool, like being with them. It's so weird seeing that dog like right in front of you, in a suit. I mean, it's like, oh, he's this tall. It's like, darn. And then seeing Max, and then like Max jumps on you sometimes. Man, it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And like you start off fighting this dragon monster thing. You gotta dodge its fireballs, and then you get the gun. And yeah, it was fun. And then like, Office, like they tell you have a list of tasks to do, and like I had to make him coffee, like walk over to him and then make Max a sandwich. Like I think I'm just starting out with the freelance police, like you're trying to join them or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's funny. I like it. It's pretty cool. And then you go into training into like look like an abandoned carnival or something, and it's like basically mini games, I guess. And like I was going around shooting. It's like a time limit, and I beat the time limit. I just did one of them. Mm. So yeah, it's a nice game with so many games, but it's cool just interacting with those characters in VR.
Yeah,
I played some more Beat Saber. I got the mod so you can get custom songs. So nice. I was playing with some people custom songs, but a lot of those custom songs are expert, man, and it's just ridiculous. So I just always turn off where I say like no fail, because I'm like, ain't no way in hell I can do this. What else did I do? I played the mini golf game. I played just like I played in real life. I get a bunch of sixes, and like I got a couple bogeys. I think I got like 2 pars and a bogey. I stopped before I finished though. I don't know how many holes it was on that course. So I picked a random course. It was a Western course, like the Old West.
Oh, okay.
It was nice, like going through like a mine and stuff like that. That game is cool. Like I could see you like really having fun in multiplayer with friends, like just playing mini golf with that. But I think there might be something in the menu where it said, "Hey, you keep trying infinitely," because I'm gonna need that, because all I'm going to do is keep getting sixes. That's all I'm going to be getting in mini golf. I've tried the Medal of Honor game, and like I guess I see why you said people weren't that high on it. Mm-hmm. Now, see, because VR is very new to me, a lot of games are probably I'll think they're pretty good because it's something new and to experience. But comparing this to like Battle Sisters, or I'm trying to think of another first-person shooter I played. Well, I guess Walking Dead. The Medal of Honor is a little too janky. I think with like me trying to reload my weapon, and I don't like it. Like I think probably quite a few of these games do this, where they make it realistic. Like you have to take the ammo, put the clip in your gun, and then you have to load it up. Right. And I'm like, I don't want to do all that. I just want to, at the most, put the ammo in the gun and that's it. And like, I just shoot. Mm-hmm. And then even sometimes trying to get my other controller to hold my gun steady so I won't just shoot one-handed, because it's hard to control the gun. Realistically, it would be. Mm-hmm. It sometimes that messes up. Like, it's like I'm holding it weird. and it's like I can't get it right. And when you're doing that during training is all right because nobody's shooting at you. But when I got to the field, like I was always just messing up and I was getting killed a lot. And I was just getting frustrating with that game. Because of that, I was like, man, if I had like infinite health or something, maybe I can deal with this. Like trying to figure out this jankiness of like shooting. But yeah, it became like not fun. But I mean, it looked good. It looked like it had potential. Like I like the idea of they do the Medal of Honor thing of really teaching you history. Like when you're in the training room, you can pick up all these items and they'll explain to you what they are, like what each gun does. What even like they're not toys, but I guess models of tanks and stuff, and tell you what they are. Like this lady will explain it to you and things of that nature, and then you go to these mannequins and say what kind of soldier this is, and things of that. So that was cool. I did like that. I mean, it's an experience. Like, but if you're trying to win, that's where you get to the point where like, oh man, this is too hard. Even on like easy, I mean, you just won't die fast enough. But trying to load up my weapon, I just don't like it. I just wish it was an easier way to load up a weapon. I wish it was like you just put the gun to your holster and it loads up or something. I don't need to be totally real. Because they even have it like when you get like that one shotgun. It's not really a sniper gun, but I think it's the bolt shot. Like you gotta put that bullet in, and oh my god, I was like, come on, man. It's like, I don't want to go through that. I'll be bad when I see the animation of doing that on a normal game. And now I have to physically do this.
Yeah.
And I did play Battle Sisters, which is the Warhammer, what is it, 30,000? 20,000?
40,000?
Well, yeah, 40,000 game. And I guess you're playing as this female segment of Warhammer. I mean, I don't know the story or anything, but it seemed all right. I only played very little of it because I think my battery was going down, so I was just wanting to try it out to see how it looked. You still have to load the weapon, almost like Medal of Honor, but it's a little easier because at least they're automatic weapons. So I'll just put the clip in, and I think you still had to pull on certain guns, like a pistol, but a lot of them, it seemed like a little simpler. And the guys, they're not shooting at you. Well, so far, they give you time to to dodge and things of that nature. Yeah, it seemed like an all right game. I mean, it seemed okay. It looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like what I played so far, but I ain't played much to really judge it. I played some more Thumper. I finished the whole level 2. That was fun. Thumper, I just get lost in.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just keep playing until it clears the level, because that's what it gives you the break. And I was like, whoa. Then I realized, like, oh, I'm playing this for a while. But actually, I mean, I wasn't playing that long because I didn't really die much. So that was good. Plus I played those levels a lot on the Switch, so I know them. I think it's only 3 and up is where it gets tricky for me. I played what's this game called? Where you walk the plank? What's the name of it?
Yeah, I forget, because isn't it like someone's name's like something Plank Walker or something?
Yeah, Plankety Plank. Plankety Plank's Plank. That's what it's called. No, but yeah, it's a game where you go on this elevator, you can walk the plank, and you got it's like you're really walking the plank on top of a building, and I guess you have to balance yourself and you can fall off. And I guess they make it like you do certain things. You can make it so like, hey, you got to grab this cake on the plank and then turn back around. I never got that far because whatever happened, like they don't really go by my area that I have. Like, because when you have the Oculus, you can make how far your boundaries are. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what they're doing in the game because like it tells me to grab the cake, it's beyond my boundary. And I'm like, well, why you got it so far out that way? And I can't reach it. But so I couldn't do that. I did walk off just aside just to see how it is just to fall off and you just die. Also, I did a mode which it's probably for the holidays, like where you pick up this bell, you ring it, and then you're sent to the North Pole. So now you're on the back of Santa's sleigh. Well, you are Santa Claus, and you're just throwing presents. Like the reindeer are going to different buildings, and they're slowing down. And it's a game. Like you throw the presents into the chimney, and they tally up your score, like your score at the end. Mm-hmm. So you only have like you're on a like they don't just stay at the chimney, like they kind of go slowing down. So you got to put as many presents as you can into the chimney, and then they go to the next one, and the next one. And that was cool to play. Then I played a mode where you're like a superhero, someone like you have these jets on your hands, and you hold the trigger buttons, and you kind of just shoot up, and you just fly around like Superman. And you can hit these missiles, like you get behind these missiles. Now I don't know if they were tallying them up, because I hit maybe 5 missiles or something and made them blow up. But they still kept coming. So I was like, does this ever end, or do I just keep going? I just stopped. But it was fun just flying around the city. I mean, you see the potential in this game. Like if there was better looking, like this is very plain looking game, like graphically. Like, but I was wondering, like, hey man, like you can see, like, hey, they can make a Superman game where it looks like the city looks really good or something, and just flying around, or some type of superhero game, or you just flying around or something like that. And what did else I play? Oh man, I watched the NBA through the VR. There was an NBA game, the Denver Nuggets versus Orlando. They were in Denver. That looked nice being in VR watching it. You being courtside or behind the rim, really close with the players, watching them. And yeah, that's a cool experience watching that. Like I can get behind that. They're only going to do certain games, but I hope there's like a future where it's like, hey, you can just watch all the games, but then you got to pay for it. So I know I'm not going to pay for it. So then I just got to hope like it'd be like a package like ESPN, because I have ESPN, so like they can have actual VR games I can watch
right
on there, or like TNT or something, like those big networks, because it's just their own network really that's doing it, because the commentators are they're VR comment, because they call people names out, like say, hey, I see you, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. People name names and stuff like that. All right, so yeah, that's what I played this week. I've been busy really with the VR.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to 2012. We are going 10 years. And what we got here? We got Blaze Blue Continuum Shift Extend. That's a hell of a subtitle. But it's a fighting game. It's part of the Blaze Blue series. It's on PS3, Xbox 360, and the PS Vita. Blaze Blue is a game. I always love the look of the game.
Oh, yeah.
And pull off moves is pretty simple. Like if you played the most Dragon Ball Z, it's almost similar to that. Like that kind of system. It can be complex, but it's not too difficult. And I think I actually played this one. Like I think I tried it out. Like this specific one. Did it come on PC? Yeah. I think that's where I tried it out. It came on Windows, but not until 2 more years later. Apparently.
Wow.
Wait a minute. The hell? This says okay. This is weird. This says 2010 when I go to the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
But when I look up here, it says, it's on the 2012. Is it the PS Vita one? It might be that one, because I don't see the PS Vita.
They don't show the. Yeah, it's got to be the Vita one, because the Vita came out this week.
Okay, so
I believe
the Vita one came out then. God damn. Like, what the fuck? All right. So this already came out, and the Vita one is most likely the one that came in 2012. Or it could be all wrong. So what the fuck? What the hell? Who cares? All right. So what else we got here? We got Crusader Kings 2. I feel like I've seen Crusader Kings 3 recently for some reason. But I get all these type of games confused that just the box art looks the fucking same, even though I don't know what the fuck the game looks like. Yeah. I'm guessing this is a strategy game. I'm just assuming. Yeah, well, there is a Crusader Kings 3, because it's definitely a strategy game. It's explore the defining periods in world history and experience crafted by the masters of the grand strategy. It is free to play. Was it always free to play? I guess you just have to buy the DLC. Yeah, it is it's definitely a strategy game, and it's more like it almost looked like Civilization in a way, but not.
I'd see that.
I don't think you're building like communities or anything. You're just, I think, just moving your armies around. Or that, but yeah, hold on. Let me see what 3 came out. Because I feel like that was recent. It got 9 out of 10. It came out 2020. Okay, so maybe it was like a DLC or something came out. But yeah, and that does look a whole lot better than the other one. But yeah, that's a game. I think Crusader Kings it's like a game I always see on Steam, because like a sale or something happens.
Absolutely.
All right, so what we got here? Grand Slam Tennis 2 came out for the PS3 and 360, and who's on the cover?
John McEnroe.
And we got the looks like the Russian, I believe. What's his name?
Djokovic.
Djokovic and
Sharapova.
What? All right. So what else we got here? We got Mario Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games on the 3DS. So did the other versions come out already, or they didn't come out yet? They came out last year. Oh, okay. So, I mean, they always come out like before. So they finally got the 3DS version out. So you can finally play them in 3D.
There you go.
I don't know what they gave. 66. Hey, they gave it. It's the same score as Wii. 66 on Metacritic.
Consistency, Dominic.
Yeah. Consistently mediocre. All right. So
exactly.
Tales of the Abyss came out for the 3DS. I'm guessing this is a Tales game. Not as good as the one I played, though. I'm going to say. Though, let me see the Metacritic. Well, I mean, it still got a good score. It got a 75. This is a game that came on a PS2, though. So I guess they just re-released it for the 3DS. So, yeah, good on them.
Impressed that it ran that well, then.
Then you have Tekken 3D Prime Edition. You got the Prime Edition, like the Amazon Prime.
I was going to say, do I get it free with Amazon Prime?
And did they like this game? It got 64 Metacritic, so not. Oh, but Nintendo World Report did not like this game. They did not. I guess they didn't pay him nothing. They said, giving it a 4.5. While IGN gave it a 7.5. I mean, that's a big gap. I mean, from 4.5 to 7.5. Like, what Nintendo World Report see wrong with that game that other people didn't?
Yeah.
Even Nintendo Life gave it more stars. I'm guessing these are 10 stars. And then, Games Radar Plus didn't give it. They only gave it 2.5 stars, so they were right there with them. Eurogamer seemed to like it, 7 out of 10. The Guardian didn't like it. The Guardian. Wait a minute, what the hell is the Guardian? The Guardian.
The Guardian is in like the British magazine?
Yeah. All right. So as we have here, we got Twisted Metal for the PS3. The PS3 version came out. This came to be pretty mediocre or lackluster. I mean, it got 76 out of 100 on Metacritic, so it's not bad. I mean, EGM gave it an 8.5. OneUp.com gave it a B. Game Informer gave it an 8.5. I mean, I see 8s, 7 on Destructoid. I mean, it wasn't the reason I say for me, because I think the load times were not good, and it didn't keep my interest when I did try it. I think I borrowed it from maybe GameFly or something. It just didn't keep my interest like Black did. It didn't have that story element to it. I mean, it seemed nice. IGN seemed to love it. They gave it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I think revision of history, I bet you those scores would go down. Like, because it definitely, like, I remember listening to podcasts. They didn't seem that high on it, on listening to podcasts. But from these scores, it seemed like it was a great game. All right, that's where we're at. Here we are at UFC Undisputed 3. And this is when it was still with THQ. Hey, made by Ukes, the guy who used to do Smash. I said Smash. I mean
SmackDown.
I mean SmackDown.
Yeah.
All right, so Smashdown. They did Smashdown. It got. Oh yeah, this was when it was still good. You got like an 86 on the PS3, 85 on the 360. Yeah, I mean, got good scores all across. Like the lowest score I see is an 8.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when these games were coming out. These were good. It was like the EA one was the one where they went down. I think that because MMA, because they had UFC license, and I think when EA did the MMA or somebody else did the MMA, and they weren't as good. All right, we got Worms Ultimate Mayhem. You like those Worm games, and it did not get good scores though. I mean, it got yeah. Nah,
it's amazing
scores.
how such a simple game they can not do great with.
Like 66 on PC, 62, 59 on 360. Yeah, got a 5 out of 10 on Destructoid, 6 out of 10 on GameSpot. But Square seemed to gave it a okay score though. Looks like it gave it, what is that, 7 out of 10 stars? They got paid off. All right, here we go. We got Asphalt Injection for the PS Vita came out.
Yeah.
Guess it's a car racing game, and was this any good? No, it wasn't.
No, it
yeah, 49. We also got Dear Esther. Yes, I remember this game. Is it like a suspenseful game, right?
Yeah, I think it's like horror, but without the like horror-y bits.
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
just like walking
it kind of reminds
through
the game
this
I
thing.
played. I stopped playing when it started getting real scary.
When it started getting horror, yeah.
Because it did not start out that way. But it got like okay scores. Like nothing. Oh, Destructoid did not like this game. They the ones who brought it down with their 4.5. Everybody else gave it like an 8 or higher. All right. So what else we have? We have F1 2011 for PS Vita. Little Deviants for PS Vita.
Yep. Launch title.
Did you play this game?
No. It was packed in with like the first edition Vitas, the ones that came out like a couple of days earlier than the regular release of it. And it just didn't look like anything I was interested in. It was like a AR kind of capture-y Pokemon game. Like
yes. Now I remember
Pokemon Go before Pokemon Go.
The Michael Jackson Experience came on the PS Vita.
Yeah.
The Uncharted Golden Abyss PS Vita. Oh, okay. So this is the release of the PS Vita. The PS Vita release. Why did I see this on Moby Dick? Like the release of the PS Vita.
They might have it as like the 22nd because the first edition's one's released on like the 15th, and then the 22nd I think is when it officially came out.
Oh, okay. The Uncharted game I heard good things about.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Yeah. And you got Warp on the Xbox, which was Xbox Live Arcade game. And I'm guessing that's a puzzle-like game or something. Not even sure. It was EA Partners game, though. Made by Trapdoor. I don't know if they exist anymore.
Yeah, I remember that little guy on the cover, but I don't
remember seeing him, too.
That game, yeah.
I mean, it got okay scores. 74, 79, 72. PC, PS3, 360. Edge gave it an 8 out of 10. Euro gave it a 7. Now, G4 gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Game Informer did give it a low score, 6.75. 6.5 from GameSpot, but IGN gave it an 8.5. So it seemed like it's mostly good.
Yeah.
It says right here, what's the game? The game opens up from the first-person view of blah, blah, blah. I don't want to know the story. Okay, let me see what the gameplay is. Despite being a 3D game, the game remains similar to a top-down 2D game that features puzzle solving and stealth. Okay. That's what I thought. All right, Alan Wake came on Windows, Daniel.
All right.
So you get to see it in high-quality graphics. You also got these iOS games. Is anything worth mentioning from them?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, good. All right, so that is it for 2012. So now we go back 20 years to 2002, and we are still getting Dreamcast games. I keep saying this has got to be the last one, but they keep saying no, we still got some more. We're going into the next year after the game is already, after we stop making systems, we still got games coming. NHL 2K2 at the middle of the damn season, probably after their All-Star game, the NHL game has finally come out for the Dreamcast.
It's about time.
And who they got on the front, I don't see it on Wikipedia, so I'm going to assume nobody. It was just this big NHL logo on the front. Anyway, who else we got here? We got Pirates, The Legend of Black Cat. And I think I know this game. Yes. Look at that lady. Yowzers. You know, I never knew the subtitles of this game. Because I think I just kept looking at her boobs. I just saw pirates and her boobs, and that was all I knew. It is an action-adventure game. Received average reviews. I didn't even give a number on the Wikipedia. They didn't even bother. This is received average reviews. What's the synopsis? The game takes place in the year 1762, the year of our Lord, and focuses on the adventures of Katrina de Leon. Leon's father is the Pirate Isles governor, and her mother is the Pirates of the Skullco leader. Leon sails to 5 seas in search of her mother's grave and to take revenge against Captain Hawk for killing her father. Cat must search for the mystical Charstones to get to Hawk, which requires her braving the dangerous and savage islands of the 5 seas infested with Hawk's men, the Crimson Guard. Arr.
It's the original Black Flag, Dominic.
So yes, it's basically Lara Croft, Tomb Raider mixed with Black Flag, and there you go. That's what you get. All right. And we have UFC Tap Out. So even 20 years ago, Daniel, we have a UFC game. I don't think I knew about UFC much. I think I knew a little bit of it then. I just thought it was like, oh, this is just like underground fights where people don't have boxing gloves. Yeah, Ultimate Fighting Championship, Real Fighters, Real Fighting. That's what it says, and it got okay reviews, 74 out of 100. I want to know. There was a UFC game. No, it was on the Dreamcast. That looked really good. It was a MMA and I think it was this UFC. Because it's like, man, this looks really good. I just don't know none of these fighters. I was like, I don't know these people, but it looks pretty good. I forgot what it was called. But anyway, yeah, Game Informer gave it 8.25. GameSpot gave it 8.6. IGN gave it 8.3. Yeah, this got really pretty good. This was like an Xbox exclusive. All right, so what else we have here? We also got BAM Entertainment entered the gaming market, and they started with the GameCube, and they excuse me, they announced their first game will be Driven, based on that movie with Sylvester Stallone.
Is that real?
Yes.
I didn't realize it was based on that. Like, I feel like I remember this game, but I don't remember that aspect of it.
End up going defunct though in 2005, but they made quite a few licensed games between that time.
Okay.
All right, so we also have ESPN NFL Primetime 2002 for the Xbox was released, and I know it's a Colts running back on the front. I want to say Adrian James, but I don't know if was he still on the team then? I don't remember. Nah, it doesn't matter. Fuck it, I don't care. Hold up, I gotta reopen a tab here. All right, so we also have New Legends is what was it? Darn, I wrote it down and I looked it up and everything. I want to say it was a Xbox game where it was like in China, in a period of China when they had guns and swords, like guns, modern guns with old ancient swords and gear and everything. It's a weird, I don't know what like kind of universe is supposed to take place in, but that's how it is. It's an action game. It got okay score. I mean, actually, I don't remember what kind of scores it got. What's it called? Legends. What's it called again?
New Legends.
New Legends. That is such a simple name. All right.
Yeah. Definitely one
okay.
That's like,
not good scores. 56
game.
Yeah, 56 out of 100. Yeah, the highest score I see is a 7.3 by GameSpy. When GameSpy was reviewing games. I used to always see GameSpy on with PC games, like the hair in the corner.
Yep. Because they used to do all their like online through GameSpy.
Yeah. Yeah, you play as this some guy named Sun Shu, a young fighter who is fighting to free China and his kingdom, Shu Kingdom, from the villainous armies of Zhao Gan. What else we have here? Guitar Man came out.
Yeah.
20 years ago. Guitar Man is a game where you play as this boy who uses this guitar to fight enemies. And I just remember seeing it in magazines. I never played it or anything. Now I'm really interested in playing it, but I don't think they ever came out with a sequel or nothing. I don't see the reception here. It says it got a 7 out of 10 from Edge magazine. It was in the Stats 100 top 100 games list of like for
they were
that year.
Themselves.
It must have been like for that year though. If it's for that year, then yeah. Shit.
That's a well-liked game.
I mean, yeah. I heard. I mean, I didn't hear nothing really bad about this game. But yeah, I think it's one of those cult hits.
Definitely.
And it was Koei. Koei published this game. Well, THQ published it in Europe, but it was developed by Koei also. He should have like a Dynasty Warriors like game coming out where you just use a guitar and just blast all these enemies away.
There you go.
But I think it's like music and like music based, but action. I mean, like I think you press the buttons. I mean, like a Papa the Rapper.
Yeah,
kind of
I think it's exactly like that.
NBA Hoops Game Boy Color version came out in the United States. So get your NBA Hoops on in the Game Boy Color. You know what? I never did play any type of sports games on the GameCube. I mean the Game Boy.
Game Boy, yeah.
Yeah, I just never cared to. I think trying to think. The first sports game I played on a handheld was a Switch, maybe. And you know what? That might be a lie, because I don't think I ever played a sports game on that thing either. I never played a sports game on a handheld. I don't think I ever tried Madden.
So NBA Hoops is looking pretty good on the Game Boy Color, though, Dominic.
It is?
I mean, it looks like what you would expect it to look like.
Okay, yeah. Let's say.
Let me not give it too much praise here.
All right, then. That is it for the flashback segment. So we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So we're going to get into the gaming news. So what we got there?
All right, Dominic. You played it just a little bit too early, because now the updated version of Cyberpunk 2077 is out for the next-gen consoles.
Yeah, I know.
Even though you don't have one, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
They updated the other versions, too. They added some stuff.
Yeah, I kept seeing the headlines of like, oh, the NPC characters that you can date now can send you nudes or something like that. And it's like,
That's what they can do?
That.
I thought they were like more conversations.
I'm sure there's stuff of that too, but that was the headline I saw on all the things, because it gets people to click on them.
Yeah.
Or at least just for me, look at the headline and then move on with my life. And act like that's the only thing they added. Yeah, no, I think they added like more depth to the relationships as well.
Which sucks. Because now I'm not going to play a whole game just for that.
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
But I do wish they would make it so that that other woman is bi, so I can date her as a man. Maybe I would do that. I could have a relationship with her or something. But and there was different missions. I guess I want to know, would it be any different missions with her? But the best woman seems like the one I did date, and that's why some people are upset that she wasn't bi, because they were a woman and you couldn't date her.
Interesting. Yeah. So, of course, with this next-gen version, they now have, just like everybody does, like a performance versus fidelity mode. In the performance mode, you get 60 frames per second.
Like the Xbox One version and the PS4 version have those too?
No.
Oh, well, you lied then, Daniel. You lied. You said everybody had it.
Well, I mean, everybody with the next-gen versions of their games have those now.
Oh.
Yeah, and a ray tracing mode that has ray tracing but brings it down to 30 frames per second. The Series S version also has, improved graphics, but they're also doing like a 1440p instead of 4K dynamic scaling. Should this have been when Cyberpunk just originally released, Dominic, or you played it before this, so it was in a playable state, and you seem pretty satisfied with it overall.
Yeah.
Do you think they should have held off a lot longer to release this game, or was releasing it when they did and taking the hits that they did the move that they needed to do?
Taking out money out the equation, because it has nothing to do with me. They should have waited, but it seemed like they still made money, so I don't know. I guess whatever.
Yeah, so it's good that they promised this during the fourth quarter, and they kind of surprise dropped this on everybody. So good on them for finally getting their act together. Maybe now they can move on to some DLC if that's what they want to explore with Cyberpunk. Also, we know they're working on that Witcher 3 next gen version as well, so people could be working on that. Who knows how big a team they have working on that. So I don't know, maybe they could rewrite the conversation around Cyberpunk 2077 a little bit if they come out with some really good DLC now that the game is in a playable state, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
So all right, Dominic, we also have some news that Dead Island 2 may be coming out next year. Basically, the next fiscal quarter, the 20 whatever fiscal quarter is what they're saying now. That would be pretty cool, considering we finally got Dying Light 2. 20 years on, we could finally get Dead Island 2. It has been 20 years.
That is crazy.
It definitely feels like it's been quite a while.
It has been a while.
I mean, did we mention that in one of the 10-year retrospectives yet? I thought one of the magazines maybe had that on mentioned on the cover.
I want to say yes. Because I felt like I played Dead Island when I was still at Target.
Yeah. Let's see. It was announced in 2014, so not quite there.
But wait a minute. Dead Island?
Dead Island 2.
Oh, Dead Island 2.
The announcement for that.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no, the original game did come out a couple years before that. Because then you had all those spin-offs and all that.
Yes. Dead Island 2
nonsense.
did. Yeah, okay, yeah. That hasn't been 10 years yet.
Yeah. Yeah, Dead Island 1, the announcement trailer was in 2011. So, yeah. I knew we talked about something related to that last year. All right, in continuing on games that may potentially come out at some point in the next fiscal year, you've got Ubisoft Skull and Bones. That might be a thing that's actually happening, Dominic. We pretty much had written that thing off as dead at this point, but it sounds like, according to Ubisoft at least, their development on that game is continuing on, and they are in a state that they are happy with.
All right, so between April 2022 and March 2033, we're going to have this game.
Yes, I meant to say 23.
Oh, okay.
Let's correct that. Because if we don't have it by 33, then yeah, I'm pretty sure it's dead now.
Well, I put the other 3. You had 203.
Oh, okay.
I put another 3 in there.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm still not sure what I'm feeling about this game, because from what they showed originally, it was mostly ship stuff. And while I liked the ship stuff of Black Flag, I still needed the on-foot stuff to break that stuff up. I wouldn't want just a whole game of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. Maybe that's why it's taking so long, is they realized, oh, that's not what people wanted. So they had to pivot, and then that pivot went sideways when all the, allegations and everything happened at Ubisoft, and now they're getting their act back together.
And now it's just going to be called Assassin's Creed, Skull and Bones.
I mean, honestly, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag 2, Skull and Bones.
Tom Clancy's Skull and Bones.
Tom Clancy's Assassin's Creed's Black Flag, Skull and Bones. Yeah. Rayman's Rabbits, Skull and Bones. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, that's not that far off. I would assume if that is in fact releasing in that time window, then we should be seeing gameplay of that at the next summer Keighley event or E3 or what have you. So we shall see. Then the other news story I got this week, Dominic, Overwatch League is going to begin again in May. But the notable thing about that is it's apparently going to be played on early builds of Overwatch 2. And part of me wants to tune in to just see if it ends up being janky and you just have pro players getting absolutely pissed at the status of that game. They can't do that, right?
I think the game will look the same.
I mean, honestly, yes, but from like a background bug standpoint, I can't help but wonder if there would be some stuff there. I just think it's weird.
That whole league's fucking weird to me. I don't see it like a sports thing, because sports, you don't change rules in the middle of a season.
Yeah.
Like how they had, you said the DLC characters come in.
Yeah, they had the DLC characters come in. Like, I think Brigitte was added at one point. But they would also do stuff like when they nerfed Mercy, like they would change that, part of the way through the season. And it's like, it's so weird. It just...
You got to do that for the next season. Next season, say, okay, this is different. Like, right. Don't these people build their strategies on what the hell they are when they play them?
Build their teams on it, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that is so... That just takes it out to me. It just makes it so weird. It's like, that's... What the fuck?
Yeah. I could have swore for like Overwatch 2, they're also like changing the balance of the teams too. Like, you don't have... Or maybe that's just like a recommendation thing. I don't know. because there was something to it that people were complaining about, like, oh, now we can't have as many damage dealers or something like that.
Oh yeah, there was some complaint that I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't like really a problem for me, of course. But I could see it being for them. I forgot what it was. Yeah.
So that is the news I had for the week, Dominic. I also had the BioShock stuff, but we talked about that earlier. Anything that you saw this week that you wanted to talk about?
Nah, I think I'm good, man. I didn't notice anything else.
That will get into new releases real quick. We got Cyberpunk 2077, as we mentioned, coming out now on the Xbox Series X and PS5. We got Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires coming out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Is it time to dip your toe back into a Dynasty Warriors game, Dominic?
I don't know, because this Dynasty Warriors 9 was the people get bad scores. I don't know if this has gotten better. Like, they improve upon it. Yeah.
This is the one. This is the one you want to play. All right. We also have Star Wars The Old Republic Legacy of the Sith. This is out on the PC now.
What the hell is this?
It's an expansion for the Old Republic. Yeah, because I saw like the announcement trailer. Well, I guess not announcement trailer. I guess it was like launch trailer. But as always, like those cinematics they do for this game are always incredible. And I'm like, at first, I'm like, is this a new game or what are they doing here? Is this the next? Because this looks kind of cool. And then I realized that it's just an Old Republic, expansion. I'm like, okay. That's less exciting.
Oh, here's some news. You got the Uncharted's Nathan Drake, the movie version and the regular version in Fortnite.
Oh, there you go.
So you can swing him as Spider-Man in the Nathan Drake uniform.
Yep. Yeah, that was probably so easy for them. They were like, okay, we're going to make this Nathan Drake model, and then we'll just swap heads with Spider-Man, and then we can release 2 versions.
Yeah.
Get double the cost. Yeah. It's fucking great. All right. We also have Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection. That's now on the Nintendo Switch. We mentioned that last week as part of that Nintendo Direct. It's got added like touch controls and stuff like that. Seems like the right way to do one of those kind of old games coming to the Switch. Unlike The Force Unleashed, I haven't seen review scores for it yet, though, so I can't say for sure if that turned out good or not. We also have Getsu Fumaden Undying Moon. That's out now on the PC. That came out last week on the Switch. Talked about that. King of Fighters 15. You mentioned that earlier. That's now out on the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X. So if you're a King of Fighters,
I ain't realize. Go ahead. No, keep going.
What?
No, keep going.
You can't, Dominic. I gotta know now.
No, I'm gonna say it. You have to keep going.
This is a Terry Bogard. If you're a Terry Bogard guy, check that out.
Okay. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Are we? I didn't know what you meant by kept going. I didn't know if you meant like all the way. All right. We also have Total War Warhammer 3. That's now out on the PC.
See, I didn't know that was new. I thought it was I just came on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a new game. Damn, they got this game to launch on Game Pass.
Yep. It's here, Dominic. It's here. Game Pass. Threatening everyone. Sony's just not going to be able to compete with Game Pass, Dominic. No matter what they try and do, I just don't see.
Well, according to the people I read on Twitter, it don't matter because they sold more consoles than Xbox.
I mean, that's literally the strategy behind Game Pass, though, is you don't need to buy a console anymore.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they can't manufacture them. I don't know. Whatever.
Those people on Twitter, they know what they're talking about.
They do, always. All right, Dominic, and the big one for this week, Horizon Forbidden West is now out on the PS4 and PS5, and the PS4 version is $10 cheaper. So if you're going to buy this game, buy the PS4 version and upgrade it for free to the PS5 version. It just do that. It doesn't make any sense to buy the PS5 version unless you just don't know.
That is so weird. Yes.
Well, you have to remember this is one of the games that got like involved in that whole like scandal I'd call it a scandal, but it's not that serious. But, you know, of Sony saying, hey, we're going to have free upgrades for this game. And then eventually going, oh, we're going to sell this for $70. And it's like, how are you going to do both of those things?
It doesn't make any sense. Sony, why did Sony change like that?
Yeah, it's so dumb. Meanwhile, we are not having this conversation about Xbox, I might point out.
No. Yeah. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, you just put a $60 a free upgrade. Like, just do that.
Yeah.
Now you just made this a...
Yeah, but they're making an extra $10 on all those people that don't know. So they're like, you know what, we're going to take it. There's a lot of people who not going to know. That's why they did it. It's like, hey, we got a chance. Not everybody going to read the fucking internet. Like, look, nobody looks... Not everybody looks at gaming news. Most people probably don't. Yeah. So they're going to be like, hey, I want my Zero Dawn. Say, I want the PS5 version. Bam. You got to have that nerd. So you got to have that nerd in that section. See, there don't be those nerds in Walmart and stuff. It's only in GameStop. They'll probably tell you that. But the Walmart place, those people who work in that section, they ain't freaking gaming nerds, but other people don't even want to be there. They're there and just ring you up. If luckily you get that nerd who would be like, hey, nah, don't get that version. You get this one because you save money. Yeah. Then I'm like, shut up, nerd. Don't tell me what to do. Here's my $70. Yeah. The reception for this game has been interesting because, like, obviously everybody's talking about it as like a huge first party exclusive game. But there's been a lot of talk about like the first few hours of this game being kind of a slog and taking a bit to get used to.
I haven't really read anything going in this game or listened.
But it sounds like it grows on people. Basically what I heard is it's not going to turn anyone that wasn't already a Horizon fan into a fan.
A fungus.
Exactly. But it seems like it is actually a good game. Surprise, surprise, you know. And yeah, I'm hoping one day I'll get it on a PS5 or one day I'll be available on a PC, you know, 2 years down the line or whenever.
Yeah, I wonder how long will it be on a PC? Will it be at least quicker than, since these games are coming on PC from PS5? Like, what's the timetable?
Yeah, I hope, especially even with the whole subscription thing that Sony's talking about, is maybe with that they put more of a focus on getting games on PC, so they have more places that you can play these games, not necessarily just streaming.
Yeah, exactly.
Same way we would do with Game Pass. So, yeah. So those are our new releases, Dominic. Do you want to get into prediction-y stuff?
Yeah, why not? Let's just go ahead.
All right. So last year, as we always do, we had our predictions for what we thought would happen in 2021. We usually do that at the beginning of the year. This year, we had kind of forgotten until this point. So we're going to look back, revisit those predictions from last year, see what we got right, see what we got wrong, and look towards the future of our 2022 year. All right, Dominic. So I was listening to the last year's podcast. The weirdest thing about that podcast, Dominic, is that podcast is also from the week of the Capitol riots. So yeah, there's some jokes mixed in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I forget what was it specifically where you're like I think it maybe was related to like the MLB stuff or something. You were like, yep, now I understand. People just get angry and then they, storm buildings and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So my first prediction was that we would see a Switch Pro 1080p screen OLED coming out in like March or April. And then there would potentially be like a 4K aspect of it when you output it to the TV with a dock that maybe has some kind of like internal graphics card. And of course, we all know that did not happen. We got Switch OLED instead, which is literally just an upgraded screen. Everything else stays the same hardware-wise. Dock gets an Ethernet port. So that one swing and a miss there. Still Switch Pro rumors out there, Dominic, but we'll see if anything actually happens there. I also suggested that E3 would not happen last year, and we could potentially never see it ever again. They did have an online presence last year, and it sounds like maybe they will have an online presence again this year. No physical conferences, but they do still persist. I also said Starfield, we would see that, and we did see that. I was a little apprehensive about that because with the last couple of games from them, they kind of released them quickly after they had announced them.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing, basically a year away from the time of announcement, but we did see that. I was hoping / speculating that there would be a Metroid game last year, and that one actually did come true. I even said, I'd hope to see something 2D, and we got Metroid Dread, and I was absolutely satisfied with that. Mm-hmm. So we were looking good there.
Good prediction.
Yeah. My uncle works for Nintendo, Dominic. All right. Then your predictions, you had Smash Brothers. You said one of the characters as part of the...
Wait a minute. That's
I was going to circle back to that stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
One of those characters would be from Zelda. We did not see that, unfortunately, just more other anime guys with swords. Also a Master Chief Mii fighter we could potentially see. We did not get that, but we did get a Doomslayer Mii fighter, and I feel like that's pretty close.
You can get one. It's custom make them. They probably already custom made when the game started. It's probably some Master Chief one out there.
Yes, there are some weird Miis with some messed up looking faces that kind of look like Master Chief visors. Absolutely. You also had a Switch Pro coming at $350. The current Switch dropping in price. We did not see a Switch Pro. We did not even see a drop in price for.
No, they probably never going to drop the price.
The Switch, which is absurd. You also had Overwatch 2 coming out in spring. We're seeing that now, but nothing last year. So, we got that. You said no Dead Island or Dying Light, and you were absolutely correct about that because we just got Dying Light 2.
I cheated. I had an inside source on it.
Did you? Yeah. So we did see some more of Dying Light 2 last year, but it eventually did release this year, just a couple of weeks ago, and now we're...
I forgot I made that prediction.
Yeah. I was like, nope, he was wrong. Oh, wait, no, that just came out this year. So, yep, absolutely right. New Naughty Dog game. We did not see that yet. So hopefully this year we'll get something new from them. And also a Gears 6 trailer.
Because it ain't going to be new. It's going to be
The Last of Us remake or whatever. Oh, God. I really hope that's not
I don't think it's going to be a new game this year. Not from them.
Yeah. Oh, man. I really hope that's not a thing. But with the television show, I could see it. I could see them trying to have some kind of synergy there or something. Just let them do something new. Give somebody else Last of Us remake if they're going to do that like it originally was supposed to be.
Well, my damn Jack and Dexter.
Now we're talking.
I don't know. I don't know what the subtitle would be. 4. I guess it's 4.
Jack and Dexter meet Ratchet and Clank. That's what I need. Need part of the metaverse now. All right, and then you had Gears 6 coming with a trailer and some gameplay.
I know, they didn't have that.
No, there was nothing last year from Gears 6. Well, because
the goddamn Halo got pushed back so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. Hopefully this year we'll see something out of them. Also, a Grand Theft Auto 6 announced, and we did not see that. Also, you had that it wouldn't be in the U.S. We did get confirmation just this year that is happening. No proper trailer or anything just yet.
It would take place like not in the U.S. The setting.
Yeah. Where do you think that's still probably the case? I mean,
no.
I kind of feel like no. Definitely in the U.S.
I think it's going to be in the U.S. But wow, what you got? Australia or something?
Yes, Australia. No, I don't know, honestly. I don't know what setting would work outside of America for the kind of
North Korea
critique. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like the kind of social criticism stuff that they go for. I don't know where else you would go because
they'll start a war.
I feel like the mass appeal, and maybe it's just because I'm American, surprise, surprise, but like there's more of a mass appeal to American like culture and politics than there is to like even British, politics.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And do some Brexit stuff, I guess. You gotta show your passport when you cross the border of different European states now. All right. You also had Battlefield 6. We did, of course, get 2042 last year, and that just kind of came and went. Nobody's really talking about that. Titanfall 3. Unfortunately, we did not get a Titanfall 3 announcement. And MLB, you kind of finally gave up on that one, that prediction, because there was a while there where you were saying, MLB EA game. And we did not get one last year, but they did announce that they're going to be working with the MLB and that they picked up the Super Mega Baseball guys, the Metalhead guys. So we shall see when we get one of those. It feels like they're working towards it now. So that's kind of exciting. As far as games that we were looking forward to, you had the Yakuza Remaster Collection 3, 4, and 5. Did you end up playing?
I played some of 3.
Okay, that's what it was.
I didn't. I stopped and went to Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon, yeah. I thought you had played one of those, but I didn't think you went through more than that. Back for Blood, of course, that came out. You played a little bit of that. That just didn't get you.
Yeah,
it
didn't
right?
get me to stay.
Yeah.
It was too. They made it too hard. Like even on easy, it was too difficult.
Gotcha. You got MLB The Show. Of course, you played quite a bit of that on the Xbox, especially as part of Game Pass, which we did not know at the time was going to be the case.
Yep.
Even better. You also have Horizon Forbidden West on the list. So, of course, we're talking about that this week. One of these days, PS5.
I thought it was going to come out last year.
Yeah. I think we all did. And it was actually, wasn't it announced that 1.2 actually come out last year?
I want to say it was.
Yeah. The one we weren't sure about, God of War, we also had that on both of our lists. Halo Infinite.
Yeah, I played that.
And played that. And Shadow Warrior 3, which got delayed until this year and will be coming out.
Persona Strikers, soon. Which I'm down on. Might install this week. I don't know. Reinstall, I should say.
And then on my list of stuff I was looking forward to was Super Mario 3D World, and played that. Ratchet and Clank, of course, did not get a chance to play that with PS5. Psychonauts 2, played a little bit of that, and Hollow Knight Silk Song, which we still have no idea when that's coming out. So, yeah. Not too shabby a year, Dominic, I will say.
No, it wasn't.
Kind of up and down, but, we did about par for the course for us, I think. Got a few things here and there right, but for the most part, we're not industry insiders. We don't really know shit, so we're pulling stuff out of our ass for stuff that we really hope to see, I think, more than anything. So,
I can't think of anything for me, like, for this year, because I didn't really prepare. And plus, with Nintendo just having a direct, it kind of just put a damper on me with predicting what Nintendo would do.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I'm not going to hear anything about a Nintendo console this year. I'm going to say that.
Yeah. Mine was mostly focused around like PSVR, I think will come out this year. Now, pricing, I'm not 100% on this, but I feel like it's got to come out lower than the Oculus Quest.
Is it wireless?
It's wireless to the controllers. So and they've already announced this, so I'm not saying anything new. So you don't need cameras for the controllers. It'll sense it just like the Oculus Quest, but it's not going to be wireless to the console. It's still going to plug in. And I think that's part of why they'll be able to have it at a lower cost. I don't know if I'm confident in saying that it could be $250, but I feel like it has to be lower than $300 to just try and sway people away from the Quest 2. The accessibility of having a truly wireless headset, I think, is just like, it makes it so much easier for people to play. So, you can take it anywhere, basically. If you don't have an open space in your living room where your PlayStation is, that just immediately, makes things harder. So they've got to compete with that some way. And I think they're going to have to lower the price to make that work for them. Yeah, and then there have been rumors of this, but I think Kojima's next project will be something with Microsoft. And with the way things are going with Microsoft, buying things, I wouldn't be surprised if they put some money behind Kojima, if he is willing to, sell that studio or
he said, I will not sell my soul to the Americans. I will stay with Japan.
So whatever. Kojima would be like number one dude to sell his soul to America. Give him like 2 tickets to Die Hard and he'd probably sell his soul. Yeah. So that's what I had for kind of prediction stuff. Are there any games that stand out to you that you're looking forward to this year?
That's a good question. Damn.
Well, you think about it real quick. I'll list the couple that I have here. I got Kirby that's coming out relatively soon. That looks really good. They look like they're going the full like Mario Odyssey route with it, especially with him like taking over cars and whatnot. Now it's basically like what you were doing, throwing your hat on stuff. Atomic Heart, that game looks really cool. We just saw a new trailer for that like last week. Pal World, Dominic. Pokemon, but with violence and sweatshops.
No, I just hope they make it like if it's free to play. Like, what kind of model is it? Maybe Genshin Impact. If it's at least a Genshin Impact model, maybe. Mm-hmm. But even still, I just hope they have a model where it's like, hey, you buy this stuff and it'll be just like you playing a full game. And I was like,
absolutely, yeah.
I just hope it's something like that.
Or just let me earn credits in the game by like slaving my Pokemon away to sweatshops.
Yeah, exactly.
Like while I'm not playing the game here, I'm gonna let my Chipokemon go over here and work in this factory making guns. Somerville, I'm excited for. That's the game from the former Playdead guys. That game looks cool. I'm excited to see what's happening there. It was the one where it's like the family running away from like an alien invasion.
Yes. I am excited for that one.
Yeah, that looks really cool. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, the Shredder's Revenge.
That ain't come out till next year.
No?
I'm just joking. I have no idea.
I feel like that doesn't have that long to go. Yeah. It's got.
That has to come out this year.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Because I know my friends, they're going to definitely get that. I need to know. I'm trying to think of what game. What big game is coming out? I'm looking forward to Being a Dick episode. What's it going to be? 8, 9? I think it is 9
episode
or something.
69.
I forget. It's like I don't know.
Looking
I guess Starfield. Starfield come out
Starfield.
This year?
It's supposed to, yeah.
Well then, yeah, Starfield. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. And we'll throw Shadow Warrior on there too for you.
Oh yeah.
That didn't make it last year.
I still should have beat 2. So I need to work on that. And I write that down somewhere.
There you go. Yeah, so I feel like I guess it's more of a hope, honestly. The big games that are coming out this year, we don't necessarily know yet.
Maybe I get another like Forgotten City or something.
Yeah,
for me.
Or we don't know are coming out this year. Like God of War. We could potentially see that this year. We could potentially not. I feel like it's kind of up in the stars right now. We don't know. They probably don't even know. It could be something they're planning for the end of the year, but slips just like Horizon did last year. So I feel like they'll probably be a little more cautious now that they know how all of this like COVID and logistics stuff has affected their pipeline. So, all right, Dominic, you got anything else for the people?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, Supapod. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all the podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all the places you can find podcasts. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.